But hey, this is JC Rock and Metal Reviews, and we're here for another album ranking. We are doing the first 10 albums by Blue Öyster Cult, and it will be from the self-titled debut up to, I believe, Club Ninja is the last one we're going to be doing. We're just doing 10 albums. And I'm here with my guest. His name is Dragonfire, and we've been doing a lot of rankings recently. I think this will be our third one, and talking Blue Öyster Cult. So if you don't know, he has his own channel. He does music content. He's a part-time wrestler, and I will be linking my channel or this video with his channel, so you can subscribe to him. But it will be a collaboration. So let's jump right into this. Are you ready? You want to start with your number 10?
Yeah, I'm ready. This was interesting. We decided kind of that we would go back and forth, like sharing our band ideas, and we had a couple of different bands we discussed, but we landed on Blue Öyster Cult for this one, and this was more of a band that you were familiar with, and I'm definitely less familiar with.
Yes.
So this was like a first kind of deep dive for me. I had heard some greatest hits material and so forth. So this was really interesting. Okay, so for my number 10, I chose the 1979 album, Mirrors.
Yeah.
And I, I chose this one. It didn't really grab me, to be honest. It was all right. But this is a very interesting band. They do a lot of interesting things. You can definitely tell that they are in kind of that mindset of the mid 60s to maybe mid 70s, early 70s, mid 70s mindset of the psychedelia and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I knew of this band, but I knew some of the bigger hits. Um, for this one, I guess for this 1979 album, I did choose In Thee as my favorite song from the album. But I kind of felt like this was a little bit more of the same of some of the previous albums. But it was interesting, good nonetheless. Um, but didn't stand out to me as anything particularly special on this one. So
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. It's going to be interesting. I have that one ranked a little higher, but Mirrors is one that a lot of people, it's a very divisive album, and I'll talk more later about it. My number 10 is going to be Club Ninja from 1985. And I think the only reason I have it at 10 is just I haven't listened to it that much. It's basically hard rock, mid 80s AOR, lots of synthesizers, and they went through some lineup changes over the years. I know they lost their drummer. I believe it was after Fire of Unknown Origin. And I think they have a new keyboard player who replaced one of their longtime keyboard players. Because if you didn't know Blue Oyster Cult, they had this core lineup all throughout up to like the 80s. But anyway, it's okay. It doesn't have, I mean, it's not a bad album. There's some good songs like Dancing in the Ruins, Perfect Water. And again, it's a decent album, but it's just a case of everything else being better than it. Not that it's a bad album. So that's my number 10 will be this one Club Ninja from 85. Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Um, my number 9, I'm gonna go with Cultosaurus Erectus from
Yes.
1980. Yeah, I kind of like the songs Black Blade and
Yeah.
The Marshall Plan. I like those
Yeah.
two. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do like the cover art. The cover art is
Yeah.
awesome.
The cover art's cool. Yeah. I just did a video on this as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the cover art's really good, but I just found that this one was it was an interesting listen. Like all of these are interesting listens, and but I feel like on this one it definitely is that transition period with both the 79 album and the 80 album, that transition period between the 70s and the 80s, trying to find where they're going in the new decade direction wise a little bit, but not a bad album. Just I had to rank it somewhere, and this one didn't catch my attention as much as some of the others. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so my number 9 is going to be one I actually have the CD as well. The Revolution by Night and 1983, the follow-up to Fire of Unknown Origin. It's a good album. It just, again, it's just a case of the other ones being better, which is why I have it at number 9. I also haven't spent a lot of time with it. I've listened to a lot of the other ones a lot more. It's a good album. I'm checking my notes. Produced by Bruce Fairbairn, and it has some great solos by Bob Dharma, keyboard by Alan Lenny, and some good songs. Take Me Away, Eyes on Fire. I think the most popular song from the album was Shooting Shark. That's the opening track, and I believe that was co-written by with Patti Smith. I just did a video on this, I know, but Bane, Shadow of California, again, decent album, but again, it's just a case of the other ones being better. So that's my number 9, Revolution by Night.
Cool. All right. My number 8 is going to be Club Ninja from 1985.
Yeah.
This one here is the final album of the 10 that we're ranking, and it does get me curious to want to go and look and see what they did after this point as well. But this is mid 80s. Now, according to I was looking into some of the history. My understanding is that this was going to originally be a solo album by one of the artists from Blue Öyster Cult, but then ended up getting converted to a Blue Öyster Cult group album instead, because it just would sell better under the already established name, I think was the record label's reasoning behind it. But it's interesting that it seemingly started out as a solo album, according to one source that I found. But anyway, I like Dancing in the Ruins and Perfect Water. Those are probably my 2 favorite songs on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another good one. You know that you're gonna get some guitar with this band, and particularly they find some interesting grooves, and still coming out. They still continue to do, I feel like, a lot of psychedelic stuff, even when that stuff went out of fashion. So I like them for sticking to their roots. But yeah.
All right, cool. Nice. All right, we're on my number 8. I'm going for one of the oldies. Tyranny and Mutation from 1973. Again, it's this band, they kind of started out almost like a proto heavy metal band. So a little more raw, a little more aggressive. And again, I think it's just not a bad out. I like it a lot. It's just a case of the other ones being better, though. Produced by Murray Krugman, Sandy Pearlman, and it has a pretty cool format because side A is the black side and side B is the red side. So side A has Hot Rails to Hell, I like that one, in red and the black. And side B has another Patti Smith song called Baby Ice Dog. It's a good album, but again, just the other ones I like a lot better. So that's the only reason why I have it at number 8, which is Tyranny and Mutation from 1973.
Okay. My number 7 is gonna be The Revolution by Night, 1983.
Cool.
So, okay, yeah, that one, yeah. Um, the 2 tracks that most stood out to me were Take Me Away and
Mhm.
Shooting Shark.
Yeah.
Those 2 tracks definitely stood out to me. But, um, I like this. I also kind of like Dragon Lady too. Um, it's a little different, but
One of the heavier tracks, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I like anything to do with dragons,
That's
as you
cool.
can see. it's the Dragonfire, my wrestling persona, Dragonfire, and everything. But yeah, this was not bad. This was not bad. It comes in at my number 7. Um, and yeah, it was interesting, and always like it's always interesting. This is a very a band where they're gonna do something unexpected a little bit. I feel like their lyrics are always like, woo, like, they're always coming up with something. I suspect that a lot of these albums are probably considered concept albums, and they're maybe
Okay.
meant to kind of take you on a journey. So they're interesting, very interesting albums.
Nice. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So my number 7, going back to the beginning, is going to be the self-titled debut from 1972. Again, this is a little more psychedelic, a little more proto heavy metal. They were heavily influenced by Black Sabbath. So I know there's one song that I think it's on this album. I think it's called "Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll." If you listen to the main guitar riff, it's similar to Black Sabbath, The Wizard. And I remember they said that they were influenced by that. But again, it's a heavier album. Has Then Came Last Days of May, Transmaniac, I can't pronounce this one. Transmaniac on MC, and She's as Beautiful as a Foot was a more psychedelic. But again, solid album again. But the other ones are just better. But again, this is just everything after this I really like, and but that's why I have this one at number 7, the self-titled debut. And,
Okay. For my number 6, I've got Tyranny and Mutation.
mhm.
And the first half of this album really stands out to me. And I noticed this has actually on the track listing, the first half is listed as the black, and the second half is listed as the
Yeah,
red. And yeah, but they have the song The Black and the Red, and OD'd on Life Itself, and Seven Screaming Diz Blasters. These were like really fun songs, really interesting. I probably would have to listen to it a few more times before or maybe read what some people have said about it, because I'm pretty sure it's a concept album, and maybe I could get more of the concept on continued listens. But listening to it this last week in preparation for this video, I did enjoy it for sure.
nice. Okay, so my number 6 is going to be Secret Treaties from 1974. Another one. It's classic, kind of like almost like a bridge album because they're still doing that proto heavy metal. It's aggressive, it's psychedelic, but they're getting like a little like better song structure. So some of my favorite tracks are Career of Evil, that's really cool. Dominance and Submission, that's a great one. Flaming Telepaths, that's another classic. And Astronomy, this one actually Metallica covered, if you're a Metallica fan, or anyone listening is a Metallica fan, that they covered that on their Garage Inc. album, I think it's called. So that's a good one. And it just has that really mid 70s, just that classic hard rock sound, similar to bands like Alice Cooper or Hawkwind or that like that. So it's a really good album. It's like the third of a trilogy of the black and white albums. That's what they called them. But I think like this is the best of the first three. So that's my number 6, Secret Treaties at 1974. Yeah,
Okay. Um, so yeah, my number 5 then is going to be Spectres from 1977.
cool.
And yeah, this one is definitely now at the top 5. These are these are really, really good albums here. Um, Interesting, like I said, a lot of concepts flowing through them and flow from beginning to end. I really like the first track though, Godzilla. That's one that I had definitely heard on the radio
Yeah,
before. but I didn't know that it was by Blue Öyster Cult. And I liked Golden Age of Leather and Going Through the Motions. Those are both also pretty cool songs. But yeah, this one really stood out to me, just especially the way it kicks off with Godzilla as the first track, and then I'm just kind of along for the ride. So yeah, I enjoyed this one for sure. It's my number 5, top 5.
All right, cool. And we actually have a match. I also have Spectres from 1977. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's a pretty cool, like transitional album. Like I said before, it's after the big one, which was Agents of Steel, which I'll talk about later. It has a hit, Godzilla. That's probably the most well known, but also some good deep cuts. The Golden Age of Leather, Nosferatu, Celestial, the Queen. Are You Ready to Rock? Is a good one. I think there's another one I like. I think it's called I Am the Night. It's a pretty solid album. It was pretty popular, and it kind of has like a mix of their almost like heavier sound from the early days and the more like polished pop sound of the 70s and going to the late 70s and 80s. So, and also has kind of like some weird stuff. So it's pretty much it's a good overall, just like overall, maybe good like a starter album for anyone who like doesn't know the band. So again, that's my number 5. Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Yep.
So I'll kick off my Mount Rushmore, my top 4 here. So my
Yeah.
number 4 is gonna be uh, Agents of Fortune from 1976.
Nice.
Now, yeah, this one, uh, I, you know, This Ain't the Summer of Love and Don't Fear the Reaper. Those were 2 big hit songs that I've definitely heard before. But I also really liked ETI,
Yeah.
Extraterrestrial Intelligence. That's a
Yeah, it's a
pretty cool
classic.
song. Yeah, this is a really cool album, and I thought, I'm sure they blew up really big after this one came out, because Don't Fear the Reaper, I mean, that's like
Yeah.
just a huge, huge song. And it was interesting to kind of put that in its context. I actually have this album, um, but I probably in the past kind of just listened to it on as background. The first few songs come on, maybe I'm paying more attention while I'm doing something and I've got the music playing, and then it kind of more faded to the background. But this time I listened to it more intently, and it's a really enjoyable album. So yeah.
Cool. Nice. Okay, so my number 4 is going to be Mirrors from 1979. I know you had this one towards the bottom, but I like it. I've spent too much time with it. It's a little more of like a pop album, a little more progressive. And I think it's the type of album you need to listen to a few times before it clicks with you, or at least in my opinion, it is. It's a little more commercial, more hard rock, but it has some of my favorite songs. Dr. Music is great, The Great Sun Jester, Moon Crazy, and one of my favorite Blue Öyster Cult songs of all time is called The Vigil. It's just this pretty cool, almost like a prog rock song. I just like this one line. And I don't know, I know like a lot of people don't like this one. This one like didn't sell well when it was released, and a lot of fans would probably rank it low. But for me, it's like one of my favorites. Just I think it just has a special place. And I know like a lot I've had a lot of people in the comments saying that they like this one. So it's kind of like I guess this album would be a grower. You have to kind of give it a chance. But anyway, that's my number 4 is Mirrors.
Okay, right on. All
Yeah,
right, it's time for my bronze medal, my number 3. Um,
yeah,
I'm going with Fire of Unknown Origins from 1981.
nice.
And this is actually one that I picked up a while back.
Oh,
I found
nice.
it at a shop when I was on vacation, actually. I found a shop that was selling
Yeah,
cassette tapes for $1.
yeah,
And yeah, Blue Öyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origins was in there. And for this one, I really love the title track. and then it goes into the absolutely great another hit song for them, "Burning for You." Um, Fantastic song. I know I've heard that one on the radio before. And then I also like Veteran of the Psychedelic Wars. Psych
Yeah,
Psychedelic
that's a
Wars.
classic.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good song. Anyway, this is a good, interesting heavy metal. Black and Silver is another good one. So definitely side A is super strong. But I
Yeah.
like the whole album. So Fire of Unknown Origins is gonna come in number 3 for me. So
Right, nice. Yeah, I'll be talking about that a little pretty soon. But my number three will be Agents of Fortune. Again, this is the typical, the most popular album. It's their breakout album, I guess. And it has Don't Fear the Reaper. I've heard it lots of times, but again, I still like it. But you got some great songs. This Ain't the Summer of Love. It's a really catchy song. I think you mentioned that one in ETI. Another that's another classic. And again, it's just a great overall, just it's a good starter album. If anyone's new, you probably this would be a good place to start. Also has another Patti Smith song, Revenge of Vera Gemini. She actually sings in that one as well. So that's pretty cool. So again, so yeah, number three, Agents of Fortune, 1976.
oh, yes, and I forgot, I was gonna ask you that when you finished one of the previous reviews there. What song were you saying it was that Metallica covered on Garage Days Inc.?
Oh, Astronomy.
Astronomy. Okay, okay. I'll have to
And
check out that
now that
cover.
now that you mention it, they also have an acoustic cover of veterans of Psychic Wars.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can find that on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna check that out because I do have the Garage Days Inc. um or whatever it's called. I
Yeah.
believe it's called Garage Days Inc.
Yeah, I
Metallica
think it's
album. So
garage, or maybe garaging, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. Um My number 2 is gonna be the self-titled album, the debut from 1972.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Trans Transmania Con MC, the first track on the album, really enjoyed that one. I also liked Stairway to the Stars, Before the Kiss, a Red Cap. Um, oh, and I also really enjoyed City on Flame with Rock and Roll, Cities on Flame
Yeah.
with Rock and Roll, and Workshop of Telescopes. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty solid album. Um, it was really enjoyable. It was interesting. I think that this album definitely has that. It's our very first album, our youthful energy. I don't know how long the band was together or how long they had been writing songs and putting songs together before they actually got signed to a record deal or before they actually put out their first album in 1972. But I
Yeah.
suspect they started at some point in the 60s and they probably had ideas and songs kind of built up. And I think it shows in this album as they're putting their best foot forward right off the bat and trying to just hook their audience in with some really good material in this album.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right.
So it's my
Okay.
number 2.
So, all right. My number two is Cultosaurus Erectus. Again, this one, it just has this really great like front half. Black Blade, that's about like a Michael Moorcock character. He wrote like fantasy books. That's a great start. Monsters, that's like a little more like prog rock, a little bit of like King Crimson in there as well, if you listen closely. Divine Wind, that's kind of a controversial song because it came out like during the Iran hostage crisis in the 80s, and it's about that. Deadline is great. The Marshall Plan is good. The second half maybe a little weaker, but I still like all the songs. I think it's a solid album. Again, probably just another case of me spending more time with it just because I have the CD. It was in the box set, so I've listened to it many times. But again, I think it's also a good solid album, and I've had lots of people comment on my videos because I just did a review of it saying that it's top five for them. So anyway, that's my number two.
Okay, right on.
Yep.
Right on. My number one is gonna be Secret Treaties from 1974.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
classic.
yeah. Man, this album hooked me right in with the very first song,
Mhm.
um, Career of Evil. Honestly, when I was listening to Career of Evil, I was like, these are these lyrics remind me of Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
And they do. They remind me of Spinal Tap, which is a good thing. I love Spinal Tap. Yeah, I love Spinal Tap. So, um, yeah, Career of Evil, and then yeah, this entire album from beginning to end, I could name the songs, but I'd be naming like 7 out of the 8 songs are my favorites. You know, so but yeah, this just like hooked me in, and then uh, didn't let go until it was over. Astronomy is a really good track where it ends. It's good from beginning to end. I really enjoy it. So. Oh,
Nice. Okay, well, that leaves mine. I mean, I guess you all know what it is, Fire of Unknown Origin. I think this is just a perfect album. It just has just a little bit of everything. I know you talked about a lot of the songs, but it has a big hit, Burning for You. That's the one everyone knows, but that's probably not even the best song because the title track is great. Veterans of Psychic Wars, that's great. Soul Survivor, that's a super catchy song. Heavy Metal and Vengeance the Pack. I mean, these are all good songs in there. It's just like an album. I like to listen to this one like front to back. I put in the CD and I listen to the whole thing. Like I don't pick songs from this or put it on playlist. I like listening to this thing front to back. I think it just has a really nice flow in the songs. And it's awesome. It's great, good that you have it on cassette because it's essential.
okay.
One of the albums. I think it's just the best. This is the best album. So that's it. That's my number one.
Well, that's awesome.
All right.
I would say thank you for really kind of getting me to do a deeper dive into this band because I did definitely enjoy this dive of listening to the first 10 albums this week. So I had had this band on the back burner for a while, and then
Yeah.
when we picked this band, or you suggested, and we kind of narrowed it down and picked this one, I just was like, wow, okay, I appreciate this band a lot more now than I did before. So, yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's close this up. All right. So everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe to Dragon Fire. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. Thanks. Comment below. Let's hear your rankings of the first 10 or all of them if you want. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.